Welcome into the Pats Nation. I'm Corso. Catone is here. Joe's with us in the booth. You are watching us on YouTube, listening on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, anywhere you podcast, you can catch us. And, of course, when you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Give us that like, that thumbs up. That's what we ask for. We always appreciate. And there's a little clicker thing there, right? Joe's got on the screen. So subscribe. All that fancy schmancy stuff, right? But and leave us a comment. And if you want to talk with us, you can leave us a message in Heated Hotline, 855-313-PATS, P-A-T-S. It's a message line. Leave a message 24/7. Joe will pick one. Let's let it be yours. Have a take. Or you can email us in our mailbag, corso.catone@gmail.com. Hey, we got one topic today, and it's Pat's preview. Wow. And what we're going to be doing, yes, because we're going to be coming into training camp, and what we're going to be talking about is our corner breakdown to finish off the all the position rooms. We want to break down the corner position, and then coming into camp, we want to talk about our pre-camp roster rooms, and some of these competitions for all these different positions coming into camp. And I want to take a little bit of a trip around the NFL if we have time, a little preview of the AFC and NFC, and who are the who are the teams that are going to be looking up at us, in the AFC, Mark.
Did you start drinking Bloody Marys early this morning? I'm going to be looking up at us, right?
Having one of your cookouts or something,
Early. Don't get into that from yesterday's show.
All that stuff, all that stuff. But anyway, so hi, guys. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Listen, we're getting closer to camp. Now, today's show really gets me into the fact that we're getting closer, Chris,
I know, right? Because I can't deal, it's just.
Well, now that your Battlehawks, that's over now. They lost, right? So now.
I don't want to discuss that at all.
No. So now.
That situation. Because they had to let AJ McCarron go. If you don't let AJ McCarron go, you let this young clown in there, and then they couldn't win. I mean,
All right. So now, but anyway, so now it's just baseball and nothing else. Like it's
Well,
it's crunch time now.
Hey man, it's always football. Right, guys? Always football. It's always football all the time. Always.
Oh, 24/7 football. Absolutely.
So what do you think? You ready for Pat's preview?
Let's go. Let's do it. Right, Joe?
Let's do this.
Pat's preview.
Okay, Mark. Let's talk about the cornerback room. What would you say?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to pull out the I have to pull out the Rothsteins for this.
I gotta find a good audio clip to
putting on
Rothsteins.
the putting on my glasses song. Is this what you want to come up with? Okay, that's nice. See how they like to make fun of me, everybody out there. All right, so Mark, here's the deal. Talking about this corner room, we handled all the positions. We didn't do the specialists. I mean, do we really want to talk about kickers? I can't stomach that.
Nah, I don't think so. We don't need to talk about the kickers. I don't think we do. But what do I know?
So the guys, I mean, I think they're going to keep 6. In my opinion.
Yeah, I think they'll keep 6.
Now, the two obvious ones. Are going to be obviously Christian Gonzalez, of course, and Carlton Davis, right?
Yep.
Those are going to be your two boundary guys. Those are the guys that are going to be on the outside and all of that. Now, what happens in the slot?
I'm going to tell you something, Chris. I think this is going to be a competitive summer with these guys. This room is going to be very competitive to see who makes this roster, Chris. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, because it's first of all, you're always dealing with injuries. I mean, every damn year with this team,
we always have a corner go down. Always,
and knock on something over here. We don't want that to happen, of course. But you're right. Every year, there's always something, and so it was a problem with the. I mean, what we had a couple of years ago, and they were all hurt. Gonzalez was hurt. Bolt Jones were hurt. Marcus Jones, Jonathan Jones.
Would you brought up Jonathan Jones? Would you have brought him back, Chris?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
He was a good slot corner, and I get that. But
because he wouldn't have cost you a lot of money.
There's just so much mediocrity on this team.
Okay.
And we started to think, I mean, you fall into the trap. We've fallen into this trap like everybody else has, where we're starting to value mediocre players and grade them and say, what are we going to do about Jonathan Jones? I mean, it's not good enough. You know, and I think Vrabel, when he walked through the door, I think that's the first thing he looked at was the defense.
He must have watched tape and said, yeah, this kid's not good enough. We don't need him.
Yeah. I don't think the first thing he looked at was the offense. I think the first thing he looked at was the defense.
Oh, I do too. Well, look at what they did in free agency. And listen, yeah, I get what they said. Well, you know, it's because guys that we were looking at in free agency on the offensive side of the football just didn't become available. So it just so happened we spent the money on the defensive side of the ball. I think that's a crock, Chris. You're right. He's a defensive guy. He looked at, I think he noticed when he came in there, Chris, what you said for the last 2 years, how bad the defense was at certain positions, and he addressed those positions in free agency.
Yeah, that's right. But with this situation, so, okay, Gonzalez and Davis are going to be
Gonzalez and Davis are locks.
Who plays the slot? Who plays the third corner, the inside corner? Got to be Marcus Jones. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be your starter there.
Yeah.
So to me, you know, you're talking about, and by the way, you go to bed with, you know, safer thoughts too.
Well, Marcus Jones, Chris, okay, so he's going to be your slot corner. How many games is he playing?
Right. That's the problem. He's always hurt.
How many games is he playing? He's so undersized, Chris.
He's always hurt.
That's a problem.
So it is a problem. It's a huge problem. And
so
that's why.
Who's going to be your backup slot guy? Is it going to be Austin? Alex Austin?
Well, I think so. I mean, because Austin's one of these guys. Austin would be a third boundary guy.
Yep.
So he's going to be able to play your third boundary spot. So I think he makes this team.
Because he's got some versatility, right?
Right. He could play inside. He could play outside. So he's going to be, you know, again, he's projected as the third boundary corner, but he can back up in the slot.
Yep.
So Austin. So to me, you're going to have Gonzalez. You're going to have Davis. You're going to have Austin. You're going to have Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones will be your starter. That's 4. Okay. Now, to me, people say, well, why you keep it 6? You should keep 5 corners and maybe 7 receivers, and you know, you try to do it that way. But with the injury,
No, I think with our injury history and with Marcus Jones' injury history, Chris, I think you're right. You have to keep 6. And I'm going to be honest, Chris, I don't know if Carlton Davis has played a full season either. Yeah. The last couple of years, he's
Detroit.
He's a little injury prone where he misses 2-3 games a year as well. So you can't count on him being there for all 16 either.
Right. So again, you know, because now you're sitting there. I mean, you used to have some players that you could say, all right, well, if we need to play a corner, safety in a corner spot in a pinch, but you don't have that much anymore now.
You don't have those safeties anymore. No, you don't have those type of safeties.
So I mean, and so now you're sitting there saying,
so who are the other corners?
I think it's Bolden, and I think it's Dial.
Now Marcellus Dial, Chris Dial, however you pronounce the last name, he was somebody when he was drafted.
I was high on him. You
said, Mark, he's got some potential. This kid.
I like him. I think, and I also think he's a guy that can be a boundary guy as well. You know, I think this is a guy that you could put on the outside. I like how he paddles back. I like how he turns his hips. Mm-hmm. I also like how he comes forward. The problem with him at times, he loses coverage sometimes. You know, when he's getting into phase, you know, his phase coverage sometimes he gets lost. It's ghosted. Yeah. You know, where the receiver kind of gets that last second separation, and then he can't go in high point balls that way. So that's the only problem with Dial, and he missed a lot of tackles last year too, coming from the outside in. You know.
And again, Chris, I think this is a room too. You look at this room and you say, okay, so what type of coaching did they get last year?
That's yeah.
Like you said, he missed a lot of tackles and this and that. But you know, what was the coaching like for a kid like him who needs, you know, he's young and inexperienced?
Because that crap's not going to be tolerated.
No. Absolutely not.
You can't. You're not going to be able to. If you can't say, look, if you're a corner and you're not sound tackling on the edge and you can't set edge. Look, you have to be a force player. So you have to be the guy. You have to be the guy that's done. He's the last edge guy. You got everything's going to get forced back in. And Dial had some problems doing that. And I think Bolden, if you had
Bolden
to say,
is also another versatile guy, Chris. I can give you some special teams, right?
Right. Well, that's the thing. So if you had to say, if you were asking me, okay, you were holding me down saying, okay, Dial or Bolden, who's it going to be now? Who? It's going to be Bolden because of what you just said.
But that's also, Chris, why I think they'll keep 6, because Bolden is a quasi, can play special teams, so that's why you would keep 6, because he can give you both, and if you get some injuries in the corner room, he's got a little bit of flexibility as well, but he can play special teams, Chris, so that kind of gives him a leg up on a lot of these other guys. I don't know if anyone else in the corner room's playing special teams, except Marcus Jones obviously can return punts and kickoffs for you.
Well, that's the other thing, too, that I was going to ask you. Do you think, because you would see previous regimes take a guy like Jones and then you say, well, why isn't he returning kicks? Why isn't he returning kickoffs? How do you think they're going to handle that?
Because he's injury
with
prone,
Marcus
Chris.
Jones. Right. That's what I'm asking. So how do you think Vrabel and company and Williams are going to handle
I
this?
honestly think, Chris, if Vrabel doesn't have to use him as a return specialist or as a kickoff guy, I don't think he will. I think he would want him to be. Listen, you're an athlete. That's great. In a pinch, if we have to put you back there to do kickoffs or punts, we will. But you're going to be a slot corner and compete for a starting job as a slot corner. You're not going to see him, I don't believe, on offense this year, Chris, at all either.
No, I don't see that happening. Not with Henderson there now, and
I don't see that happening.
So who's returning punts then?
Well, I think you're going to see what they got. We'll see what they have. I don't know. So this kid from that they drafted from the Williams, the wide receiver, Kyle Williams, returned punts in college. Now, I don't know if they'd be willing to do that with him, but he did.
Yeah. Marcus Jones is so good at it.
No, Marcus Jones is really good at it. And maybe they still will put him back there, Chris. With the injury potential for him, it's a risk to keep putting him back there. But you're right. What else do they got to put back there? I'm not sure.
It's going to be interesting to see, but I will tell you this. We kind of glaze over the first 2 guys in Davis and Gonzalez, but let's talk about those 2 guys for a second, okay? To me, bringing Davis on this team, I know what we got. We know what we got in Gonzalez.
Yeah.
When you bring in Davis on this team, to me, that allows a lot more flexibility in what you're going to do. If I'm a play caller, a DC, and I'm looking at these 2 guys on the field, okay, say, all right, I got 2 guys that I am very comfortable locking up on the outside, so I could bring some pressure. I could do some more exotic things with the front 7 in getting pressure and getting into the face of the quarterback, and even run blitzing, because I know on the outside I got 2 guys that I think could shut guys down. Because I think Davis he's a guy. He could play good man cut. He could play a man a lot.
Yeah, he can.
Whereas before we didn't have this, because they just never seemed the last few years to value that second corner spot. It was always kind of like a plug and play sort of kind of, who are we going to put there? Who's out there? You know,
we can compensate for that side, but they never could.
But now with these 2 guys, I think you can play press, shut down, lock up, man coverage, and you can play with your front 7 and bring some heat. And I mean that's how I see it. I don't know how you see it, but
I agree with that.
And they're both aggressive ball hawks too.
Yeah. Listen, you and I both said maybe they paid a little bit more than they needed to for Davis. However, we both like the player. So you're right. Our corners should be one of the top corner tandems if they stay healthy, Chris, in the AFC. No,
it should be. It should be with the health. So I'm happy with what we got in the corner room. I'm happy with what we got on the outside. I'm a little concerned about the depth simply because
I was just going to say,
Marcus
Chris, you
Jones.
happy with the depth though?
No.
I thought they would bring in a veteran. Gilmore's still out there, Chris.
Yeah, but you're never going to put Gilmore in the slot. I'm worried about the slot. Like I know Alex Austin could come in and he can pinch at a boundary situation. You know, what I'm concerned about is what happens when Marcus Jones goes down. So I got Austin playing in the slot, I got Bolden playing in the slot. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure I like that situation. It's not. I'm going to be looking for people off the scrap heap.
Let me ask you a question. Can this kid that they drafted, the safety Woodson, play corner in a pinch?
I don't see it.
No. Okay.
I don't see it. I mean, they may have to do some things personnel-wise, but if Marcus Jones gets hurt, it follows suit like what he's been doing every year is being hurt.
Yeah.
You may now that what was a strength may now become an issue. It's just like the defensive line. It's the same idea. I like our top line. I like our top flight guy. I like our top end guys.
There's no.
What the hell are behind?
Nothing. So they're going to have to stay healthy. Health is going to be a key to this team this year, Chris, because there isn't a lot of depth.
No, and that's what happens when you're rebuilding something. That's what happens when you're trying to build basically from the ground up. But to be 6 corners, those are the guys I think we're keeping. So we'll pay attention to what this corner room, what that battle is like in camp. But this portion of Pat's preview was presented by Corson Wayne Catone, the real deal, New England Feel. Saturdays, noon Eastern. We always have everything. We got Catone's comments, Yankees, Red Sox, B's and C's, of course, Patriots talk. So make sure you're tuning into that. But we come back, going to continue in Pat's preview. No flipping.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more
Corso and Catone.
Saturdays at noon.
Back in with more Pat's Nation. Okay, Mark. So that's it. We've finished all the rooms coming into camp here.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the battles. I want to talk about the battles and what these rooms are going to look like. And there's some small position battles that are going to be taking place, left guard, so and I can't think of a better time to break these things down than right now. What do you think?
Sounds good, Chris.
Yeah, so excited you are with your tan and everything.
Listen, I'm ready to go. We've got, like you said, we've gone through all the rooms. Let's now give some projections and see how this starts to shape up once camp does open up in a few weeks, right?
Okay, well, we're going to have a big quarterback battle. Is it going to be Drake May? Is it going to be Dobbs? Who's going to start week 1, Mark?
I don't know. This is a tough one, Chris. I mean, Dobbs has a shot if he shows well, you know? Yeah, well, May's the starter, obviously, right?
Yeah. But let's go to the running back room, okay? And this is interesting because obviously, they paid Ramondre Stevenson. You and I think we haven't said it because I don't know if we're trying to be diplomatic about it. I don't know what our deal is, but I'm just going to say it. I don't care if they cut this guy tomorrow, I'm not losing sleep over that. You?
No, I'm not. And I don't know. Do you think that Vrabel would pull the trigger? I don't think he'll cut him, Chris, in camp. I think if they were going to move him, they tried to get a draft pick back for him, some kind of something. I don't think they would just say, "Oh, he's a cap casualty." Not the money that you're paying him. You would probably have to try to get something in return for him.
Yeah, they overpaid. What are you going to get?
Absolutely overpaid.
But the way it's shaping out, okay, is that they keep 4. That's typically what you would see. Now, I think Stevenson is their early down backs. I mean, this is what he's going to be. He's going to slot into that spot of the early down back, right? Yeah, and Henderson is going to be your passing down back, right? And then you had said that he was watching James White film.
Yeah, he was watching White film, and he's So yeah, they gave him a big dosage of James White and said, "Watch this." So with that, and then the key though to me, because Gibson obviously it's going to be Larison, I think, right? Is the 4th guy. I think the undrafted guy, Chris, will be the 4th guy. I really think, unless something changes, because I think he can give you a little bit on special teams too. So
yeah,
I think he'll be able. He
kind of can back up both roles, can he?
Yeah, he can back up both roles. He's versatile. Can do both. He can do both. So I that's why I think, Chris, he'll be your 4th running back. I do.
Yeah, because if you have an issue with Henderson, if you have an issue on a passing down, I think again, provided blitz pickup is a huge thing. Pass protection is a big thing. People don't really think about that when you think about the running backs. Say, well, who's getting the ball on first or second down? Who's the third down back? Who's the James White, the Vereen role? Where they're getting the ball in the backfield. Yeah, but who's picking up the pressure? Especially with this offensive line, we don't know what's coming with these guys.
And Chris, we both agree Antonio Gibson's on the roster.
Yeah.
As one of the backs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the four of them are going to be Gibson, Henderson, Larison, and Stevenson. But I'm telling you, I like what, at least in minicamp, what Larison was showing.
Yeah.
And I think there's a possibility that at some point, look, if Stevenson puts the ball on the ground the way he was, Vrabel's not going to have any issue with sitting his ass down. Not one.
No, because I think you have enough versatility now in that room where you can replace him with guys, even if it's by committee. But Larison, Chris, here's the thing with Larison. So a lot of people thought, after the OTAs, they're like, well, this kid's going to end up being on the bubble. He's someone that could make this roster. He's going to show a little more, blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing, Chris. No one else in that running back room is going to be able to go on special teams. And I think he can contribute on special teams. And that'll help him make this roster as the fourth running back, Chris, because I do think his skill set will translate to special teams. And if he can do that, that's his way on the roster. Because if you remember when Edelman was a rookie, Edelman made the roster, Chris, because of special teams.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like they projected him to be a guy that was going to catch 80 balls eventually. Like it was, hey, this kid's got some versatility. In a pinch, you could line him up as a wideout, but he helps with special teams. He does different things. I think this kid Larison, Chris, is similar.
So that's back. Let's get to the wideouts now. This is the room, okay? And we've been talking about this for months, okay?
Here we go.
Mark, how many are they going to keep?
Well, let me think. I
think they should keep. I think they should keep 7.
I also think they'll keep 7, and I think they should keep 7. And I'm going to tell you why, Chris. Because I think you mentioned this earlier, in a couple of weeks back. You said Jalen Polk's never going to see the field. He's going to end up on the PUP list, and he's going to get a red shirt year to continue to see what he can develop into. And then next year would be the year where make it or break it or you're released. They won't do it this year. They'll put him on IR because he's coming back from injury. Or they'll start him on the PUP. And depending on what the receiver room shows us, you said you probably won't see Polk, right?
I don't think so. No, I think he's coming back from that shoulder surgery.
You still think Diggs could be on the PUP?
I think he's going to be. Yeah, I don't think Diggs, Hollins, maybe Hollins will start week 1. But I don't think Diggs will be there for week 1. But I don't think Diggs or Polk will be. So I think they'll be on some sort of.
With that being said, Chris, because of that, I definitely think you're going to keep 7 receivers, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if any of those guys are on,
that's another question.
Well, let's talk about it because. So if they are keeping 7, and let's just assume everybody's healthy for week 1, okay?
Okay.
Who are those 7?
Okay. So I think it's
and more importantly, why?
Unless something crazy happens, Chris, and where he ends up back on the boat. I love the boat. Unless he ends up back on the boat.
Joe, you got to play that. You got to play that video for him every week.
So unless he ends up back on the boat.
Sick bastard.
But he makes the team, right? Hollins, I think Mac Hollins makes the team.
So Diggs, Hollins, that's 2.
Demario Douglas makes the team.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Bourne, who I would try to trade.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they will. I think for some reason McDaniels likes him, Chris, but I don't know. Rabel may say get rid of him. Rabel may look at him in camp and say, can we get anything for this guy? I don't know.
Better the devil you know. Is that kind of how they're dealing with this Bourne situation? Because if you go back to he had one good year, and I'm not really sure what the infatuation with this Bourne is. I don't get it. I don't know, but okay. So he's number 4.
The local media around here loves him too, Chris. I don't know what it is about this kid.
I don't either. I mean, why? Because he smiles at them at his locker and like gives them good sound bites. I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's a wonderful human being and a snappy dresser, and that's fantastic. But but the bottom line is, give me someone that's going to catch 60 balls, will you please? And it's going to give me 500-600 yards. I mean, if you're going to be down on the right, I mean, what do you?
No, I agree with that. I agree. So I'm going to say it. So I'm going to say Diggs, Hollins, Douglas, Bourne. That's 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, Chris, obviously Kyle Williams, the rookie.
Yeah.
Right, that's 5. He's not going anywhere. If he's healthy, as long as he doesn't get hurt, he makes this roster. Then I'm going to go with the undrafted free agent.
I was waiting for you to get to him.
I'm going to go with Efton Chisholm because the third. Because I also think, Chris, he can give you special teams.
Yeah.
Another guy can play some special teams, versatile. However, he led all wide receivers, Chris, in the OTAs and receptions. Did you know that?
I know.
He led all receivers, not just wide receivers, all receivers, tight ends, running backs. He led everybody in receptions. That's why the clip we played, was it last week or the week before? Mays referring to him as Chiz. Right?
You saw plays from everybody. Trayvon caught a touchdown. Kyle caught a deep ball. Chiz caught, had about 50 catches, I feel like, in OTAs. So these guys are just showing to work and showing up. The young players in this league are good for the program. And
wow, you say it and he comes up with it.
Joe. I mean,
Joe, you're good,
give
Joe.
his props, he's on it.
Joe's on it today.
Some days.
So, Chisholm, Chris, just listen to May's enthusiasm. The kid obviously showed up in OTAs. There's no question. So I say Chisholm.
You know who I think is the most enthused about him is McDaniels.
Yeah.
I think McDaniels loves this kid.
Well, Chris, because you saw the route, the route that they ran in the end zone, and I know we talked about this last week, I think.
Yeah, whip route, return route.
That whip route in the end zone that they were running at OTAs, you said, Mark, that's exactly what McDaniels expects that to be. And Chisholm did it the way McDaniels expects it to be done. Chisholm was the only one that did it the way he expects it to be done.
And there were 2 things that we got from that drill that day.
Yep.
One, that this is the crispest, cleanest route runner on the team.
Yep.
Okay. I guess maybe with the exception of Diggs, obviously.
Yep.
And 2, that Diggs isn't ready for week 1.
Yeah, you picked up on that real quick. You said, replay that. Like you watched it 5-6 times. And you're like, yeah, no, Mark, my prediction's going to be right. He'll be on pup.
He was not pleased with how he came out of that break. And for those of you, the whip routes that you start inside and you jab down with that inside foot and you come straight out to the outside. And you want to be on a line because you want to create that separation from the corner. And the more you round it, the better chance the corner has to catch up to it. And the way Diggs came out of that break, you could see his face. He was not that he was wincing or anything, but he was just not happy with what his knee was giving him. Now, whether that's mentally, whether that's physically, I don't know. The bottom line is that told me a lot about where he's going to be in week 1. Now, it's a long time to go. I mean, we'll see. But till we get to week 1. But this kid Chisholm, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. He's making this team. He stems routes. The way he gained separation with his route running ability, fantastic.
You're just waiting to see pads, right?
Yeah, when they put the pads on and we get to the top of the route, can he create that separation with his hand? Can he create the same separation with pads on in this? Because there's always going to be contact at the top of the route. Some contact. It's not supposed to be, but there's going to be. And can he create that? So, okay. So he's on this team. So,
hey, Chris, you mentioned separation. Kyle Williams in shorts and T-shirts did show separation. Again, we want to see him do it when guys got their hands on him.
Because what didn't you see when you watched the film on him?
No.
What did you, I mean?
You never saw him line up in college, Chris, as a true X. And everyone keeps saying that's what he's going to play here. Well, you didn't see that in college, did you?
No, and if you did, guys were playing soft press on them.
Yeah.
You know, where they were 3-4 yards off in a press versus face to face. And now you got to gain, you have to get separation with your hands, not just your feet. Listen, I have no doubt in this. We keep talking about that Devontae Adams hop.
Yep.
You know,
yeah, you saw that. You did see that on one of the films. You did see
fantastic. His footwork is incredible. This kid, but I don't see him use his hands. I've never seen him use his hands to get off.
If you're an NFL receiver, that's a problem, right?
If you're going to play X.
If you're going to play X, that's a problem.
I mean, you know, unless you're going to keep putting him in motion and you're going to have him playing off, but you got slot guys for that.
That's not an X. But that's not an X, right?
No, it's not. No, that's not an X anymore. So okay. So
and I'm going to go on a limb, and I know a lot of the local guys don't like him. He may be traded, this, that. I still think Kayshon Boutte is better than all the rest you got after this group we just mentioned. I think he shows you more. I think he shows you more than Baker and more than Polk. But you think Polk isn't going to be available anyways. So I definitely think Boutte should make this team unless Baker shows up, Chris, in training camp. It does something that we haven't seen. Because he didn't show it in OTAs. Again, he really didn't do much in OTAs, Baker.
Yeah.
Boutte makes the team.
Yeah. So my 7 are the same. I got Bourne, Boutte, and I don't want Bourne, but it's going to be Bourne, Boutte, Chisholm, Diggs, Douglas, Hollins, and Williams. Now, if Diggs, and that Baker's the odd man out, and Polk also. So if they're all healthy, they're going to try to put Baker or Baker on the practice squad if they're all healthy, in my opinion, because those guys will survive. Those guys will survive to the practice squad more than Chisholm will.
Oh yeah, if Chisholm shows anything, Chris, in training camp like he showed in OTAs, he'll never survive. He won't be on your practice squad. He'll never survive. Let me ask you this, Chris: if Diggs ends up on the PUP, that means do you only keep 6?
No, that'll
until
be their
he's
way.
Healthy.
So you're saying Polk is available, but Diggs is not?
Yes.
Then Polk will end up.
They'll keep 7 at that point.
Well, because now you're looking at the position too, because he's playing the Z.
Okay.
So who else is in that position besides Diggs? Polk's one of those guys that would be playing the same spot.
All
more
right,
so
Diggs
than
is
Baker.
on the PUP and Polk is healthy. You think Polk makes the team because of the position? Not Baker. Okay.
Yeah, because I think Baker, I don't see that as a comp. You know, I mean, so like if it like say for Williams, the backup to Williams would be Boutte.
And what is Baker? Is Baker an X? Technically,
I think Baker can be an XZ guy, but I think I would probably see him more over the X, but I just don't think he's very good.
Okay.
You know, so I mean that's going to be how to get a guy out. So this is going to be the battle. This is going to be the position battle. To everybody's going to be watching. Wow, Mark, isn't it amazing? We're going to go to break, but isn't it amazing how all the way up to the draft, all we kept hearing about is what? Offensive line, offensive line.
Built from the interior, from the interior.
Short arms, wingspan. He's got short arms, wingspan, all that bullshit, okay? And all you've heard since is, but what about wide receiver? What about wide receiver?
Did we do enough? Yeah, did we do enough? Well, you didn't want him to take a wide receiver.
Right. You and I were like, okay, that's all we've been talking about. So, we'll see what happens in camp with that position group. But we come back, we're going to talk some offensive linemen and then get to the defensive side of the ball. But this portion of Pat's preview was presented by Corso Law Group, Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. CorsoLawGroup.com. Allow us to be your voice. Hey, stick around because we're going to get to the big guys next. No flipping.
No one ever thinks they will be in need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. Corso Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Call or go online to CorsoLawGroup.com and talk with these expert attorneys.
Back in with more Pats Nation. Okay, and Mark, we didn't talk tight ends, but we know it's going to be Hooper and we know it's going to be Henry. The only battle that's going to be there is it going to be Dupree? Is it going to be G. Scott? Is it going to be, what's the other kid's name there? Is it Westover? Is that? as to who is going to be the third, if they'll carry a third. Is it going to be Westover, Jaheim Bell? Is it going to be Dupree? There'll be some battle at tight end.
Yeah, there is going to be a battle at tight end, Chris.
But it's going to be Hooper and Henry. I mean, those are going to be your tight ends. Let's talk about the offensive line. Now, 9, I say 9. They're keeping 9 guys, which is what I think would be typical, especially for this team with the question marks that they have. So at center, you're going to have Bradbury, right?
Okay. Yeah.
He's going to be a starter.
Bradbury's making this roster, yes.
And Jared Wilson, the rookie, is going to back him up, right? Yep. And I'll tell you what, I think he's going to become a great center too. By the way, this Jared Wilson,
this kid Wilson, yeah, I think so.
And don't count him out for the left guard spot this year either. Wilson.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, because you had the kid that retired, right? Was supposed to be your left one. Was supposed to be competing for left guard. He's not around.
Right. Correct. Yes. So that's just going to be your center spot. It's going to be Bradbury. It'll be Wilson. They work. Cole Strange could be a depth guy there if you need him, I guess.
Yep.
He bulked up some, and I think that was for the purpose of playing guard. And then we go over to left tackle. It's going to be Will Campbell. I mean, that's who they drafted for that spot. That's who's supposed to be.
I don't even think that's a question, Chris.
Now, backups to him, we'll be looking at swing guys, Connolly, the rookie. You're talking about Caden Wallace.
Is interesting because he was another undrafted guy, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So now that's the third undrafted guy that we've talked about possibly making this roster. We talked about Lyerson, we talked about Chisholm, and now this kid Connolly. That's saying something, Chris. Now that's the third undrafted guy that we think could make this roster.
Well, it's saying two things. One, it's saying that Jay, they're pretty good at picking out these undrafted guys. And two, your room sucked so bad before. It sucked so bad before that this is what you're left with, I mean, last year starting tackles, Vidarian Lowe and Jacobs. I think those two guys come up short. So now let's talk about that. So we know it's Will Campbell, but who we keeping as the backup tackles? I say it's going to be Caden Wallace, and I say it's going to be Conley. I think Lowe and Jacobs are gone.
Chris, I was going to say to you, if that's the case, though, they're gone.
Well, because there's no versatility with them either. You see, because if you keep Conley and you keep Caden Wallace, those are guys that can play guard as well.
Yeah.
But you're not going to put Lowe or Jacobs at guard. And they both stunk at tackle to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think those two guys are done. I don't think they're making this team after camp.
You don't think Vidarian Lowe gives you a little bit of flexibility?
At one spot.
Okay.
Do you think Vidarian Lowe is that much a better of a tackle than Caden Wallace will be or can be?
No, probably not. No.
Then why not keep a guy that can play guard too?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I'm going to tell you, Chris, who I do like also. I'll tell you what. Is the rookie Marcus Bryant they drafted.
Yeah.
Out of Missouri. I don't necessarily know, Chris, if he'll make he'll make the 53-man, but I definitely think he'll be a practice squad guy.
He's going to battle with Conley.
He's going to battle because he can play, because I think the kid's going to be, he's going to battle with Conley. And like I said, if he doesn't make the 53-man, he'll be on the practice squad, Chris.
Yeah. So to me, the starting group to me will be Bradbury at center, Campbell at left tackle, Cole Strange at left guard, obviously Owinu at right guard, who he better lose some friggin' weight. Came in fat again. Okay. Owinu. And over at right tackle, you're going to have Morgan Moses, the veteran. Yeah. To me, that's your starting group, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Now,
you got to hope Moses stays healthy because he is older, right?
One thing Moses did give you give the teams is he played. He was there.
No, he plays. He does. He does.
Oh, and then I think
does.
I think you're going to have. I think Conley will be there. I think Sidney So may beat one of these guys out, or like a Robinson, Cole Strange. We said we'll start Caden Wallace, and Jared Wilson. I mean, that to me is your 9, right?
Yeah. No, I think No, listen. The only battles. Well, the battles are going to be Lowe and Jay. It's going to be, I don't think Jacobs makes the team, Chris. Lowe is going to be interesting to see what he does, because he did get a lot of playing time last year. Granted, because you were so bad and you had injuries and everything else, I get that. So he's the one guy, Chris, I'm interested to see how that battle plays out.
Yeah. Now, switching to the other side of the field, okay, and this front now. We already talked about corner. We did that in the show. We don't even talk about the corner position. But the defensive linemen and the edge rushers, these guys, I think you're going to have 5, okay? And I think you're going to keep 4 linebackers. So, I mean, between, like you say, for your edge guys, your defensive linemen, let's start with that. So your defensive line, Mark, to me, this has to be, obviously, it's Milton Williams, right?
Yeah.
It's Bondmore. Okay, those are your starters.
Yep.
Farms, right?
Yeah.
He's a guy that's going to play back up.
He's a run. Yeah.
Right. I think Tonga will be somebody who makes this team as well.
Because he's a run specific player, Chris, right? And you don't have many of those guys on this team. So I think Tonga, just because of his size, Chris, if he shows you something, has to make the team.
Right. And I think that will be your interior that you're looking at. Now, we're not talking about the edge yet, but that's, to me, your interior, because you got to keep a guy, like you said, like Tonga, because of the run, because you're small.
You mentioned the rookie from Florida State, a Farmer.
Sorry. Yes, I didn't mention him, but yes, he will make this team as well, because depth, like we talked about, is an issue, and they're undersized. So you got to stop the run with these guys. And I don't know about the question marks are going to be Will Williams, Bondmore. Those were not run stuff from, these guys are going to be asked to play more downs than they've played in their past.
I was just going to say that, Chris. Williams, because of the amount of depth and versatility Philadelphia had on the defensive line, didn't play a ton of snaps, was very productive when he was on the field, but he wasn't counted on playing, X number of snaps, because they had so much depth on that defensive line.
So we have to see, can he be a run stuffing guy? Can he play more snaps? And can Bondmore do the same thing?
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to have to deal with is putting Tonga on the field and get yourself now in an odd front where you're playing nose tackle out there. That's not what they want to do. So we'll see what happens there. Now, on the edge, Mark, you're talking about Landry, Swenson. Landry and Keon White are going to be your 2 edge guys.
Yes, they should be. Yes.
Okay. Those are going to be your starting edge guys.
Yes.
Swenson, I think, makes this team.
Yeah, I definitely think he makes the team. Yeah.
Which to me puts Jennings at jeopardy.
Okay.
But then you also have Chasen too. But
now Chasen, Chris, I was going to say I would include him in the rotation, because I think Chasen is going to have one of the top spots in the pass rushing rotation. I think you're going to have Landry, Keon White, and Chasen will be your 3 top guys, Chris, in that pass rush rotation.
Yeah. And then Jennings and Swenson are backing that up.
Yes.
Those should be
and Swenson back that up. Yep.
Because we're expecting a lot from Keon White this year. I mean, he ran his mouth pretty good.
Especially the way he was talking. What did he say? He's finally getting coaching, right?
Like he's doing a good job of saying, like, this is what you need to think of. This is your thought process. And that's something I don't think I had before, and what I was missing.
So did it feel like you were maybe going on prior experience, or maybe were you just like overthinking, or how exactly?
I've been training myself. And now I feel like I have a coach.
I've been training myself, he said.
Now I feel like I have a coach, he said.
Well, let's hope he can back that up. But that's going to be your front You know, and then as far as the off-ball guys, the linebackers, Mark, listen, you know, Gibbons, Spillane, Ellis, those three for sure. Tavai, he's a bubble guy. He's a bubble guy. Now, imagine.
Well, Chris, he's more of a downhill guy, right? Downhill thumper, not a sideline to sideline athlete. So, listen, there is value, Chris, in having a guy like Tavai on the roster.
God.
Let me finish, please. I know you don't like him, but listen, if you say he doesn't make this team, now you have nobody situationally who's can play in a clear run situation.
Yeah.
Because these other guys, so I'm not saying I want him on the roster, but I'm saying there may be 7 or 8 snaps during the course of a game that maybe he's on the field, Chris. I'm not saying, you know, now, if he's not a guy you want on the team, and you say, you know what, we don't care, we need guys sideline to sideline, we don't need that thumper in the middle anymore, does that open the door for a guy like Mapu to be part of the linebacker rotation, not part of the safety rotation?
Yeah, I do. And that's what I think is going to end up happening. Because they want speed, they want athleticism at the linebacker spot, at that off-ball spot. They want somebody sideline to sideline. They want someone that if they have to get into coverage, they can do it. And I think you're going to see that. I think you're going to end up seeing one of these safeties be playing off-ball linebacker. And I think Mapu is going to be that guy. You saw it there in minicamp. You saw it there in some OTAs work. You got some work there. Sure, it's a hell of a difference between going to free safety all the way down and playing that off-ball spot. But I'll take that over Tavai.
And now Tavai, Chris, who knows? Maybe he ends up on the pup because they said he did go down and had sustained a pretty good injury at the end of OTAs. Who knows? Maybe he's on the pup, Chris. Right. Anyways, and that saves him for 4 or 5 weeks. You know what I mean?
It does.
To see what your linebacker room looks like.
And then lastly, we talk about the safeties. Okay. I think they keep 5. I think it's going to be Duggar, Peppers, obviously, Woodson. Those are your top 3. Okay. And then I think you're looking at, if you're going to say Mapu is the backer, okay, then it's going to be Duggar, Peppers, Woodson, and I would say Schooler because of the special teams, of what he provides on special teams. He's on this team for sure. Was he Pro Bowl special team guy?
Schooler? Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And then Hawkins. To me, Hawkins. Now, because now you look at, okay, is it going to be Hawkins? He saw a ton of time this spring. That's not typical if you're going to cut a guy, you know. Now it's going to be more limited that once Duggar comes back, Hawkins is going to be relegated some, but that backup role and that option to play him at free safety matters. So I think Hawkins is there because of that single high.
Speaking of
center field guy
of free safety, Chris. So he was hurt, got hurt. He's coming back from a torn ACL. What about the kid Marcus Epps? Couldn't he play some of that free safety position if he's healthy?
He could, but I don't know. He's coming off an ACL.
Yes, that's the problem. Maybe he starts on the pup, though. I don't know.
Could, but he that's certainly somebody that's molded for that can make that push for center field. And if that happens, now Hawkins is in jeopardy of being on this team, you know?
Because Chris, they don't have a center fielder.
Not really, not in the true sense of what we will know it to be.
And do you need one in Vrabel's defense?
Yeah, because it's a defense. If you want to play some man, I mean, if you want to play man on the outsides, like we talked about with the corners, you know, which allows you to do some things with your front 7. Okay, that means you want to play some cover 1, and you're saying, okay, we're going to bring Mapu down and let him play at that off-ball spot. Well, that tells me you want him to cover up too. You want him on a running back. You want him man up on a tight end. Well, if that's happening, then you need a single high safety 15 yards down the field. That's your center fielder in a cover 1 situation or a robber situation or something like that, you know, or even in a cover 3 situation where you still have the center field safety sitting out there with the 2 corners. So, you know, I mean, it's definitely important. It's something they haven't been able to fill since McCourty left, you know?
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But those are the rooms. Those are the battles that I think are going to be happening when camp opens. And it's going to be really interesting. Some of those, especially receiver, left guard. Those are going to be really interesting things that we're going to see happen, and including that backer room too. So let's make sure we're sticking around looking at that. But this portion of Pat's preview was presented by, who were we presented by? Corso and Catone, the real deal, New England Field. Saturdays, noon Eastern. Hey, we got Catone's comments. He's always fun bringing something to the table. You going to talk about flying or something next week? Who the hell knows?
Oh, I don't know.
But he'll have something for us that's always good. When we come back, and let's go around the NFL a little bit. Let's talk, at least get to the AFC. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, let's do it.
20 seconds, right back.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more.
Corso and Catone.
Saturdays at noon.
Back in with more Pats Nation. All right, so let's talk about the league now. Let's talk about the AFC, okay? And let's start in the AFC East, okay? Obviously, we're going to go, 14-3 this year?
Yeah,
So,
I thought maybe 12 and 5, but
give me some teams, because, I mean, we only got several minutes. Instead of going, who are the division winners, Mark? And who are teams you think are either going to make a jump or going to stick as the team to beat?
So I like the draft that they had. They just signed another corner, Jair Alexander, who will fit their system. Baltimore, Chris. I think Baltimore is going to be tough to beat in that division. And Cincinnati's always an enigma, but Baltimore, Chris, with the draft that they had, and I did like their draft. And some of the pickups they made in free agency, they just signed this kid Alexander. I think they're going to be tough to beat.
I'm with you. I don't. Cincinnati's they have to get rid of that thing they do every year where they start off the first 4 games they look horrible.
You can't start in that hole, Chris. But you can't start like that.
But I think Pittsburgh's going to take a step back because I think Aaron Rodgers stinks. I was waiting for that. He's poison in the locker room. He's a guy that just rips teams apart. So I think Pittsburgh's going down. I think Cincinnati leapfrogs them. And I take Pittsburgh goes from 10-7 last year to probably 9-8. They drop another game or even 2. So I see Baltimore winning that division, and I see Cincinnati right there with them. Cleveland's going to be they'll be the dumpster fire they always are over there. Yep. I'll tell you the team I think when I look at the AFC, and if they're healthy and if they were healthy last year, and I don't think Kansas City has a chance, is Houston. Yeah, I'm always high on Houston. I am.
Houston made a lot of additions, Chris. They just picked up a Chubb, the running back.
Yep.
As well.
They drafted.
I love their draft. Listen, he looked really good in OTAs too. The kid Aiden Higgins, and they drafted the other kid from Iowa State too, Noel. So
you're gonna have their wide receiver room looks like Nico Collins, Dell. Well, Dell's gonna be hurt for a while, but
yeah.
Nico Collins and the 2 rookies, and obviously Stroud another year older. They go into and the defensively the same thing. I mean, if they go into Kansas City this time, I don't see Kansas City beating them. So I think Houston's the class of that division. Jacksonville will be better. They will be better.
They got Hunter, right? Don't forget they got Hunter.
But I think the other 2 teams are garbage.
The other 2 teams are garbage. I agree.
And then in the AFC West,
Denver did a lot.
This is an interesting division, isn't it?
Very interesting.
I don't see 15-2 out of Kansas City. Do you?
No, not this year. No. I mean, the Raiders.
Look at the way they won those games last year, Mark. Look, Kansas City. How many games could you look at and say there's no chance they should have won this damn game today?
They very easily, Chris, could have lost 7 games last year. Very easily than what they did do. And listen, a credit to them. They found ways to win. They did what they needed to do to win those games. However, the record was very it fooled you because you made you think they were better than they were. That was a very deceiving record. They really weren't that type of a team, Chris, last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the team that I think is going to make the jump there and who I think is actually going to win the division is the Chargers. I do. I think they unseat Kansas City.
Do they have enough on the offensive side of the ball, Chris?
Yeah, because I think year 2 with Harbaugh and how he likes to play and wants to play, I think now with Herbert, yeah, no, I do. I just don't think Kansas City's as good as people. I mean, we said it on the show when the Super Bowl was happening. I said Philly was getting points. There's no way Kansas City should have even been in that game, let alone win it. So who are the okay?
Blown up.
So how about the AFCs?
But Denver got better.
They did get better. So
right?
That means they're going to challenge. That means that those are tough games now.
Oh yeah,
City.
Yeah.
Those are difficult games.
Yeah.
So what about our division?
I still think Buffalo, Chris, is the team to beat. I mean, I hate to say it, but you still. I think the division still goes through Buffalo. I still think Buffalo wins it. I know we said last year we thought they were going to take a step back, which they did.
Well, 13-4 though, they did that was pretty good.
No, it was, but again, Chris, even their record was deceiving because there was 2 or 3 games that they were life and death too.
Yeah,
right.
And that last one, they weren't trying, and they really should be 14-3.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Where do we fit into this division?
Listen,
I mean, you and I both had them at what 9?
Yes,
8 and 9 or 9 and 8, 9 and 8,
9 and 8, 9
Joe,
and 8, 9. Joe had him. Yeah. I think, Chris, you could compete for second place in the division with that record.
Yeah, I think so.
If you win 9 games, Chris, I think you're fringe wild card, but I think in this division you probably finish second if you win 9 games. No,
I think Buffalo's going to win 11 this year. I think they're going to drop 2 games off last year, and I think
11 still wins the division.
Yeah, I do, and I think New England comes in. You're right, like 9 and 8, and playing for a wild card spot.
Yeah.
So okay, so you got Buffalo wins the division, Baltimore, Houston, and you still have Kansas City. Come on, hurry up.
I'm going to pull a surprise. I'm going to say Denver wins the division.
Wow. Okay. So you got that.
I'm going to say Denver with I think that the coach finally has his offense in place there.
So who are the wild card teams then? Who are the 3 wild card teams?
The Chargers.
3, right? 7 teams get in?
Yeah. Chargers. Cincinnati.
Yeah. And
Miami.
Miami? See, I think Miami's going to go backward.
I'm kidding.
I think they're a secret.
I said that for Tony Montana, the coach over there. You like him. I honestly think, Chris, the 3rd wild card team is going to be a battle between New England and Jacksonville.
Okay. So we got Buffalo, we got Baltimore, we got Houston, we got Denver for you, and then the wild card is the Chargers, right? You said the Chargers, and who was the other?
I said the Chargers. I said, Jesus Christ, I don't even remember now what I said.
Is it Pittsburgh? Is it Cincinnati?
Cincinnati, Chargers, Cincinnati, and I said it would be between Jacksonville and New England.
Ooh. I say New England makes that 7th spot in the wild card, and we're going back to the playoffs.
All right.
So that's it. That's our summer breakdown of some of this stuff. But make sure you're sticking around because we're going to have so much more coming up. But the Pats Nation was presented by Corso and Catone, Saturdays, 12 Eastern. Hey, we're going to have some summer special shows coming up. So make sure you're tuning in. A lot of fun. Fan mail frenzy and all sorts of things like that. And that show and this show. And make sure you're tuning in. But anything you bring to the table, we will be ready. We are the Pats Nation. Enjoy your Sunday.